and 2 people showed up to do it. I think for like Motley Crue tickets or something. And again, just buy them for $18.
How much could it be?
But so these 2 dudes got into the sleeping bag together, and we had like little rounds to keep it going. And we would be like, all right, rotate. So they'd have to do like front to back and like front to front. And they were completely naked in the sleeping bag, obviously.
Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang.
We got Papa Roach.
What's
Roach
up?
Daddy in the building for the
it's so
first
cool to
time
be here.
live, which I didn't even realize. For some reason, I feel like you've been around for years, dude.
Dude, I haven't been to New York since the before times. This is my first
Before
time
times,
back. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm stoked to be here.
This is a fun one. I got excited when I saw Potter on the schedule.
Oh, I'm
There's certain
staying
people
right
that
down
it's
the
just like,
street, too,
you know,
and I fucking blazed up in my hotel room.
Yeah? Which one you saying?
Park Avenue, Royalton. What's up? Shout out.
I heard you
stalk
almost
me.
couldn't get checked in, huh?
Dude, I've regressed. I was hoping Jacked Up would be she would only be the only one who relates with me, even though she's so young. I've regressed to like 24 years old. I've lost like 4 debit cards since COVID ended.
Really?
Yeah, since like post-COVID.
Bro, I
What,
shouldn't
living
say
in-
this out
living in
loud.
bars
It's like
and
piss in the bed. You don't say it out loud. But I've been clean with my cards
No,
for
man,
a while
I'm-
now.
Really?
Like I
You used
think-
to be a good like 3 or 4 times a year, like quarterly.
I used to be intentional losers.
Yeah,
I
they
got
got
no
it.
money left on this, and if they run it, they're gonna figure it out. So I'm just leaving.
Oh yeah. That's the thing. I've
That's a
grown up.
different, you know,
I've grown up, and I haven't really lost them. And then all of a sudden, COVID hits, and now I'm 23 again. I'm shotgunning beers in my house. I'm fucking losing debit cards in every hotel I go to.
Wait, you lose them in the hotel?
Yeah, like I get them confused with the room keys. I take the room key. I was just in Milwaukee. I go to the airport, and I'm flying back to LA just to tape my podcast and then fly here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's like a 24-hour basically
Yeah.
turnaround.
Yeah.
And I leave my debit card in Milwaukee. I get to the airport and I open my wallet and I have the room key,
Yeah.
not the debit card.
I actually never do that because every fucking hotel I stay in, if my wallet touches it, it doesn't work anymore.
I feel like they
Okay,
fixed
I
that. That's
have
like I feel like
thought
that's
so
fixed.
too, and because I have like I think there's a little magnet thing in here somewhere. Last time we were at wherever we're doing SummerSlam and shit, I had to get like 5 new keys.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was-
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
and I knew it was gonna happen every time I like would touch it and it would like stay red, and I was like, "Ah!"
We've actually recently talked about that. How like the tap has been such a huge
game
advancement
changer.
in game.
It saved my life in this occasion because I have a Chase, and they if you call in your card, they'll just put the new one on your phone.
Beautiful. It's
Didn't
amazing.
know that
Yeah,
until
it's awesome.
very recently.
Aw.
And I didn't know you could use it at an ATM.
Yep.
No idea. But when it comes to checking into a hotel, you need a physical card.
Gumballs need one. I could see that.
And so I'm like, can you work with me here
Yeah.
a little bit?
Right.
And so they gave me a piece of paper that I could fill out. But I was going to have Milwaukee mail my debit card to New York.
Wow.
And sleep on the street until it got here.
Well, I thought it would
say,
get here. I
you
thought
know.
I'd time it right or whatever.
Oh,
but
I
then
see, I see. I
I
forget
had
that
a
one day.
$400 fraudulent charge to Shein.com, which I found out
yeah.
from a girl
It's
is
a chick site.
clothing site.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Chinese.
That's like
Chinese
ASOS or
kids make
whatever.
shit and then they
I
sell
thought
them
it
to
was gonna be a porn
girls.
thing because I recognized it. I don't know why I would. recognize it.
SHEIN.
Yeah.
Well, you're gay, so you know it's the same thing.
There's
as
men's
chicks.
clothes too. But yeah,
that shirt
it's
looks
all
like a Shein shirt.
little this is American-made Levi's.
That's a Levi's shirt.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a
Levi's,
sharp.
American
You gotta
made.
whip the
It's a
shoes,
jacket.
No
too.
It's a
Chinese
jacket,
children made this
is that
shit. This is
Levi's?
Levi's
Yeah.
too, actually.
That Levi's jacket,
Hell yeah.
I have it in blue.
Sick.
I think is the best dollar per pound for pound purchase in the history of fashion. That jacket's like $70.
Yeah, yeah.
And every time I wear it, people are like,
oh shit, look at this
what's
guy.
that? I'm like,
What's
it's
up?
Levi's, dude. It's barely above Wrangler.
Yo, is this guy Bane? That's people get real fucking. They're like, whoa. I want to wear it with no shirt under it.
Yeah,
Or
let's
just be
fucking do
fucking
it.
like with my fucking
you,
shit
well,
out.
you basically have a permanent shirt.
Yeah, I do, dude.
Have you ever seen him?
No,
It's
I
insane.
just got a glimpse.
No,
like,
have you seen the shoulders?
Show him the shoulder. The shoulders are insane.
I mean, I'll bring them out for KFC
Pop
radio.
the top,
Usually this
baby.
costs money. On Cameo, during COVID, I was charging $100 a pop to get these shoulder shit. I made like 15 grand
Bro,
during
just
COVID.
specifically
for
for the
shoulder hair
shoulders?
pornography.
Get out of town, dude.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Dude.
Check
Can
it
I
out.
touch it?
Yeah,
I was.
dude.
I actually.
It feels good. I wish it was in better form for you.
It's
Your head hair?
Yeah,
honestly,
dude, I should get it transplanted to my head.
it feels a little bit like because it's coarse.
Yeah.
So it almost feels
But
like.
it's not like pubes though. It's somewhere in between.
No, it's like Orwell.
The cow. The pig.
Like the piggies, the whistle pig farm.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's coarse. I've never seen
like
body hair that long.
You are
Not
like
in the
I
flesh.
nared my whole body one time in like.
But you trimmed first, no?
I think
You
so.
put
I don't
just
remember
nair-
the. I
the
straight
the nair
nared my whole
molecules
body.
and we're like, we give up. We can't do it. It's
Dude,
not working.
it took forever. I looked like I had Pangea on my, and then I like
Do
separated.
you, when was the last time you manscaped?
I don't even fucking.
You don't even
bother.
try. Like, what-
it's become
like-
such a part of my brand
that's
that
the
girls
thing,
like
now it's-
expect it now.
That's so.
Dude, I had
so
a girl
you
in
get-
Tampa Bay straight up be like, "I want to fuck the shoulder hair." I'm like, I don't know what that means, but
Yeah.
cool. And then she had a
It's
husband who was
very
a cop,
like,
so it was- got weird.
Yeah. It's very like when a model, when she has like a gap in her teeth and she doesn't get it fixed because it's like her look.
Yeah,
That's your
I guess.
version of this.
Yeah,
the,
sure.
The
it's
shoulders
the
are
Cindy
your
Crawford mole. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure that had a hair sprouting. out of it.
When did you embrace it? Did you embrace
when
it
it
because
just
of work, or
became-
you just were like, I can't trim this anymore?
Well, in radio, I started doing bits and stuff, and even in radio, like where it's not even visual, it became a topic of, and like people would show up to like car dealerships to see it and shit like that.
You're
you
like
know?
it's like a
come on
traveling
out
circus
to
sort of thing.
The shoulder
yeah.
hair was moving F-150s.
to Lacey
Yeah.
Ford, come on out and see the shoulder hair.
Otter
But no,
shoulders.
yeah, it was always like
Is
I'm
it
the
your
hairy,
whole
a hairy guy.
back, like everything,
No,
or
my
just the
back's
shoulders?
actually pretty chill.
Wow.
The front's crazy, obviously.
Well, right, but
I think
mean,
it looks
I'm-
like proportionate.
I'm like, if I really let it go, I would just have ear holes. Like my neck will connect.
oh,
And
really?
it'll connect, and then I go down
So you
my
could grow a
neck.
pretty wild beard. Why
And I
don't
would
you?
get like
Yeah, why don't you do
I
that?
get like some, but enough that
Why don't you grow a crazy beard?
yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah, like
You should just go nuts.
Is
You
it-
have
is it-
such
is it-
long,
but
cool
people
hair
always
too.
make
You
fun
could
of
grow
neck
hair
beards.
super
Yeah,
long.
You'd have like your hair, your beard would be sick because you have some red in there, you got brown in there,
Well,
you got a
that's
little
all.
gray
Yeah,
in there.
I get the gray too. I have the multiple
No, yeah,
colors.
mine used to be red, where it's all gray now.
I
So
like the
it's
gray though. I would
yeah,
rather
me
go.
too.
I wish I went all gray. But don't
Red
people
look
make
weird.
fun of neck beards? Neck beards like the grossest, ugliest
No.
thing.
Yeah, shave your neck down.
But you
Just
don't.
shave-
It's
you know,
only,
that's what I
A
mean.
neck beard is only if you don't have.
Keep the
face
part you have
beard.
now.
Wait,
but just
hang on.
grow
So
it.
that's what I do. I cut from my here down,
Yeah.
and then I let this grow. You want me to just like let that
Yeah,
grow out?
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
Grow your hair
usually
super-
do trim it because the tricolor I think makes me look like old and ratty. with
No,
the
I
gray
think the
and-
tricolor is sick.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
fuck it, let's do it.
You gotta
Let's
get
do it. We're doing it.
Cobain
I let
hair.
it. I
Josh
let it
got
go.
a tricolor going. You got kind of a reddish beard.
Well, this all, like I
mustache.
said, was
I
red.
like the gray dominating. I think then I'm okay with having hints of brown and red. I'm brown, red, and then hints of gray, and it just looks like But I don't know. You guys have talked me into it. As long as like more than one person says to do something, I'll do it.
I thought you weren't doing it because of like I don't know, going to school or something like that. But you can, but
Going to school?
like picking up the kids or something like that. But like I mean,
Well,
parents
brother,
have beard.
brother, that ship sailed, man.
Yeah,
They-
look at
they
some
did-
of the scumbags that show up to that kiddie pool line, though. You could just grow a beard.
The,
Yeah.
the last that I gave up when one of the teachers told me that they watched 1 Minute Man the day after I did the story about Odell Beckham shitting on girls or girls shitting on Odell Beckham. And I was like,
that was, like,
okay,
the most
so we're
viewed
not
one,
even
too.
gonna we're not gonna do this anymore. Now I show up wearing like the thin Moon Man pants with no boxers, like my dick's out. Like I'm like this you guys know what the deal is now. Okay.
Is there any tail in that dropping the kids off line?
With
With the moms or
there's
the
definitely
teachers?
some cute moms. I mean, my kids go to school in a town that's like pretty upper class. So like, there's some hot moms who are like, they drop the kids off
Hell
and do
yeah.
yoga and drink martinis and Xanax.
But
all
none
day,
that
so
stand out where you're like, I can't wait to get to drop off the kids today.
I bet you when some of them get dolled up, yeah,
Nice.
because they do what I do. They're there.
Genuine nice.
Sick.
Fuck yeah. Total babes, bro. Babes.
That's what's up.
There's a couple. No, there's like one nanny. Actually, most of the nannies are pretty gross. Shout out to my town. The nannies are ugly. But yeah,
No au
it's not-
That makes
pairs.
sense. That makes sense.
The nannies are
I
ugly.
feel like the hot nanny days passes by.
Yeah.
No
Pretty
au
sure my brother
pairs.
once
That's
fucked
that's a
au
hot
pair.
nanny.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not called nannies when they're hot. They're called au pairs.
Well, I think au pairs are like you are one step above a stripper. Like you need to get here and get a green card and shit. And usually like the Eastern European chicks will just go be like they'll dance at flash
Oh.
dancers. But if you have a little bit of morals, you like try to
Because
like
of the
a-
foreignness of it, I always thought au pair was a step above a nanny. We were
yeah, me too.
Like, oh, you're an au pair.
Oh yeah.
But
no,
I guess.
But well, so nanny to me means you don't live in the house. Like au pair is like you come live, and I think that usually inherently
a step
is.
up.
Yeah. No, I think so too. Well, wait, I think the nanny, like my nanny is a woman with her own family and her own house and shit. I think au pairs are beneath.
So you think
that
that's
'cause they just
higher up than
Kinda.
the woman who lives in? But she's probably
I think live-in is either you're like an au pair for like a fucking celebrity, and then in that case you're probably the top dog, or you're like young and need a place to live.
You know all Tegan's secrets.
Yeah, you know where the bodies are fucking buried, bro. Literally in her case.
I'm going to rank them purely off physical.
Well, who do you think the hottest is?
Just what's the word? Stereotypes and such. Au pairs are hot. Nannies are gross old women who have like 6 kids, like you said, of their own. So they're used to taking care of kids, so they're good at it. Au pairs are like, let's get a piece of tail to just like wheel them around every now and then.
My nanny is fresh off the boat from Ireland.
You shipped one
30
in, huh?
years ago now. Like she came over when she was 18.
Oh, okay.
And then when we were moving out of the city, she happened to be transitioning out of a family who's like the kids were getting too old, and like this Irish woman like literally fell into my lap, which is like, that's like unbelievable. She's like a second mom, and like when
that's like gangs of New York shit.
When I found out, when people found out that she was our nanny, it was like a free agent steal. They were like, you got XYZ, like, holy shit! Like, how did you do that? Because usually when you have a family, that's it. You're trapped. So not trapped, like you're there. You're under contract.
Sure.
And she was transitioning out right as I was transitioning in. And shout out to this job, which was the fucking point of so much contention in my life. But it was like a listener of our show knew his mom was like the head of the kindergarten, was like the principal. And then so she knew all of like all of the different nannies and stuff, and set it all up. Bam.
How many points did her accent get you?
Yeah, like a ton. I mean, she's got the
like,
brogue.
oh, little kitty.
Yes, yes. But my brother fucked an au pair, and she was hot. So I remember that. I remember that was way back in the day. She was a
Score. Is that Brandon Clancy?
Yeah, she was a white blonde chick who definitely had an accent from somewhere. And I remember I was a little too young. It was probably when he was like 18 and I was 14 maybe or something like that. And I don't think I picked up what was going on. And then like a little later in life, he was kind of like, yeah, fuck that chick.
Sick.
Yeah, totally, bro.
You guys playing video games? Like, no.
Yeah, we were smashing.
I took a red eye in here, and I slept all day. And then I watched like 90 episodes of that M. Night Shyamalan movie, Servant. And this is all because like it's all about a woman who comes and lives.
It's a weird ass show, right?
Yeah, it's wild.
Do you like it?
I don't know.
I think it's a bad.
You're 90 episodes in.
Yeah, dude. I spent like 8 hours watching it, and I'm still undecided.
It's a bad show, but I'm like, fuck with it.
I want to. It's M. Night Shyamalan, so you're just like waiting for. I hate that he made a show because the whole point of M. Night Shyamalan is to see the end.
Yeah.
So he's got me now. I'm fucked. I'm gonna have to watch this until I die.
That was a weird show where I was convinced that.
That's still the thing with Shyamalan. The twist.
It's not necessarily the
well, he hasn't really
twist,
done much to tell us otherwise.
I was gonna say it's like what
it's always like if it's not a twist, it's always like a mind bender.
It was
plot,
like the evil person is the wind or whatever, wasn't it? That
Yeah,
or whatever?
Happening.
Yeah, I think that
Happening
movie
was
gets a
trees.
bad rap.
The trees are bad.
Happening is literally the worst movie.
I only saw it once, and I remember I saw it in Newport, Rhode Island.
Truly,
at
genuinely
the
the worst
Jane
of all
Pickens
time.
Theater. I remember walking out and being like, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah,
How high were you?
And,
Like, the trees are bad, man.
Yo,
I
when-
saw it early on.
Oh, the wind was
And then
bad.
I like probably the first night I was like probably a big Wahlberg phase for me.
There's a scene with Wahlberg.
And
I
was
love that
like-
Wahlberg called it. I remember that.
What?
Wahlberg told the world that when he was signing it, M. Night Shyamalan was like, "You're never gonna have to touch a gun again. Like after this, you're gonna be like an
That's
acclaimed actor.
hilarious.
Like you won't be doing action scenes. You'll never touch a gun again."
And then he
told
did
that
it.
on like the red carpet. He was like, and he said he was like, so I said like, okay, sure thing, dude. When probably he was like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
But then
Well,
when he
I
told
don't
him-
know. I feel like
he couldn't
Wahlberg
get back
likes
the guns
touching
faster
Well, that
after
was
that
also
fucking
the way
movie,
he.
though.
Yeah.
He was like, "Give me all the guns. I don't want to do a dog shit movie like that ever again." But he fucking that movie. You know
the
why
shooter
it got a
instead.
bad rap is because M. Night Shyamalan made so many movies with crazy twists that this twist was like
Was the bad one.
The
People
Wind,
were
bro.
just like,
Yeah.
What?
We're talking
Well,
about the wind.
That was a heat check. That was like he can
But
make
what-
any twist, anything.
What did he do to earn a heat check? He had one hit, right?
Unbreakable.
No, yeah.
Unbreakable
Uh,
Shyamalan?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
that was the first one, and then it was the
it was
Sixth
Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
That really
Signs
broke
was
it.
big.
Signs
was a big one.
Signs is where people started going.
The Village was, I think, when he started to.
The Signs and Village. The Signs people were like, I like signs. All right, aliens. The water kills them.
Because like that's
the water kills the aliens.
Where it's like,
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
I actually like that one. It was
Signs is okay. Yeah.
That's what we all hope happens with the real aliens. Something we have like Red Bull kills them. Something that we just have.
I mean
here.
that in a fake fucking we don't know really, right? But it would make sense that if you came to a new planet, that like something on the planet could kill you.
But how dumb were those aliens that they came to a planet that was like 70% water or whatever?
But I guess you wouldn't
and
know
that's their
yet or
like
whatever,
fucking
right?
they melt. Yeah, but that means they're dumber than us.
Yes. It's like,
we know water
that's
gives
the
us
thing.
life.
How could you have gotten here?
Yeah,
if you were
exactly.
dumb enough, you're smart enough to get here, but you're dumb enough.
That's
to
where people started
know.
poking holes, and then the village came out. I like the village.
The village looked like creepy as fuck.
Yes.
With those red things.
I like the twist
and
in
then
that
the
one.
twist in that one was like, I think it was okay. So those are like the 3 ones, and then I think
we're like 4 or 5 deep now. I think I've always thought
I like
Shyamalan
him,
only
But
had
that's
one.
the point. He
No.
built a
Now
house.
I'm-
He built a house, and then he comes out with the Wind movie, and it topples. The House of
Yeah,
Cards
that
comes
was tough.
down, and people are like, "I'm done with Shyamalan."
That the new one time people right or is it Beach? What is it called?
Elevate. There was one with
Old.
like an elevator
Old.
too.
This, by the way, real quick. This was my
Devil in the elevator. Or
my
something?
favorite scene from The Happening. We're not assholes. I just remember everybody yelling that after The Happening.
Who's that actress? Is
I
that
think it's
Zoe
Zoe
Deschanel.
Deschanel. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay,
like,
I was
so
listening
they
to her
got some
voice.
decent names, and then, but Old looked like the. I actually still want to watch that on purpose because I think it looks like the worst movie ever.
Oh, see, I think it looks great. I think all of M. Night's movies look fantastic.
Did you see the one with the devils in the elevator?
Never even heard of that one.
I forget what it was called. Hell, maybe even just something as simple as that. But they're all stuck in an elevator, and one person's the devil. And I don't remember who it was, but the only reason I remember the movie is because the chick who played the hot chick in Mad Men, Christina Hendricks,
Uh-huh.
her dorky ass husband, I think, was the devil.
Her actual husband?
Her real life husband, who your head would explode. Google that guy right now.
Say it again.
Christina Hendricks' husband. I can't remember the guy's fucking
She's
name.
the chick with the huge bombs, right?
Yes, just the absolute like.
Jeffrey. He's the Schnozberries guy from.
Schnozberries, dude.
Okay.
Yes, the
Super
Schnozberry
Troopers?
dude from
He's
Super
the
Troopers.
devil. He's like the bad guy.
He's the devil in this movie, I
Yeah,
believe.
it was just called Devil, by the way.
Yeah,
He did Glass. He did
and he got to
Lady in the Water.
he got to
Signs,
do
Sixth
Christina
Sense.
Hendricks.
Oh,
also.
and this was after all this, but he did Split. I thought that was good.
Yeah,
So
Split was good.
Split,
All right,
Unbreakable.
I'm in on M. Night Shyamalan.
The Visit was a creepy one where the
Yes.
grandma was trying to kill the kids. And then he wrote Stuart Little. He was in on Stuart Little. How weird is that? He's like, oh, and by the way, Lady in the Water was a weird one. I never saw
the
that.
Lady in the Water. Forgot about that one. Did see that.
I
yeah,
think
he's got
also
some
the
bangers.
Unbreakable shit's still going, right? That universe is still happening.
Yeah, I think
'Cause
the
that was
last
the
one was a
big-
pretty
I
big
think
dud.
so.
That was the big twist at the end of one of the at the end of Split was that Bruce Willis turned around,
Well, they did all three. That one came out too.
and then what was that?
I think that I don't think that one was.
Oh, I
very
didn't even know
well-received.
those were like
Yeah, that bombed.
sequels to that shit.
That one with McAvoy and Samuel L. Jackson and
Yeah, I think that was Glass.
Glass was
all
after.
of them.
Glass.
put
Glass was all of
together.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one came out. I don't think it was very good.
Well, this servant show pretty much, unless I mean, it better blow my fucking socks off at the end.
Well,
I've invested this much time. I buried myself.
I kind of fell off of it, but I do remember thinking things were so weird that I started to think that, oh, this is not real. This is in somebody's head. And then it was just like, no, this is actually happening. And I was like, okay, now this.
Yeah,
one,
no, it's
like,
all-
You really got to suspend disbelief on this one.
Yeah, and it's a lot of violins going like.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
you're just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I hear that noise
creepy.
in my brain.
But like, you know, if
Creepy
you're
as
looking for a
fuck,
little
yeah.
creepy shit, that's I just watched Archive 81. What a bag of fucking cum that was. That movie.
Is,
that
oh, that's a
shit
movie or a
sucks.
show?
Terrible. A Netflix
I didn't
show.
know. I had to wait for the next word after bag of
I don't know.
cum.
I was like, what's
that could
worse?
be good or bad.
Yeah,
It's like,
I don't know. I was like, bag of shit. No, not even. It's a bag of old
makes
cum.
it
Well, that's okay. No, I get it.
Yeah, a
now.
bag of cum is
Yeah,
good.
if,
right?
which, you know, if I gave you, well, I don't know either of them. They're not great.
Depends whose cum it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you
it?
could be like the chick who wanted a bag of Drake's cum and
Well, yeah, if they're certainly.
shove it up. in
Yeah.
the-
Also, depending on how big the bag is, a condom of cum isn't such a big deal.
If you got a bag of cum from an NBA player, wouldn't you give it to like your sister and your cousins? And like, how long? I tried to solve this mystery on my podcast. How long does cum live?
So
Oh.
I thought that it was like AIDS or blood, sort of like when it touches.
Oh, like
the
I thought it was
but
like a
that's not true.
vampire. Yeah.
Yeah,
it
no,
sees
we
light
looked
and it's
this
like,
up. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember this.
Because we were talking.
oh,
about
you
the Drake
actually
thing.
figured it out.
It was like
It's long. Well,
It's longer than you think. Also, like you can come like on a pussy, and you can get like they can get in there and keep
Oh, I don't
going.
like that.
How long does?
I think that's why my mind stays inside. So, cause I'm so repellent of making. I lose my debit card 4 times this past year. How would I have a kid? And I don't like walk around and women look at me and go, "That's breeding material." You know what I mean? Like,
Ejaculated sperm remain viable for several days within the female reproductive tract. So that's when it's inside. Fertilization is a but yeah, like after how
in
long?
the
It says
outside
here we go.
world.
How long
outside
can
can
semen-
be a few minutes.
But it says few seconds to a few minutes. So like, but theoretically that chick could have got in that bathroom, got that cum, and start
I wonder if it could have been sealed off in there too, and it lasts longer.
tied off and fucking. Did you know that we just recently discovered that sperm doesn't swim, that it spirals?
Isn't that the same thing?
No, apparently not. Apparently, like it's going to change the way, like for people who are like doing IVF and all that kind of shit, like learning that they do it this way. is pretty
Okay.
dope.
But isn't that like saying, like the breaststroke is not swimming? It's the breaststroke.
Yeah, but think about that. It would be like you do different distances or lengths or whatever based on that.
True,
shit,
yeah.
butterfly shit. I just thought that was kind of cool that they're corkscrewing their way to there.
It's like a bullet. I fire
That
bullets.
makes sense. You
Yeah,
fire it out of
blanks.
your dick.
Usually you fire blanks, but
So now
there's a nomenclature.
all those fucking high school videos need to update their animations.
Yes, that little
That little-
is not true.
Yeah, not happening.
Which makes sense. I feel like that's how you would get in.
Yeah, that's
side
true,
to
yeah.
side doesn't do it. You gotta.
Yeah,
As
and
soon as
that's-
they did that, a bunch of animators were like, oh,
We gotta change everything.
back in the lab.
We got a little
that's why they call it
Andrew
screwing.
Santino.
Is he calling you?
What's up, Cheeto? I'm on the podcast right now with Josh Potter. How you doing?
Tell that son of a bitch.
Yeah. He says tough loss. That is
Tell him
we're gonna get into that in a minute.
you're a phony Chiefs fan.
You're a phony Chiefs fan. You're on speaker
Just
now.
because you and Travis Kelce's 69 doesn't mean you're a Chiefs fan. Don't lie to the people. You just signed Eric Eberfluss, who's a bust if I ever fucking saw one.
Eberfluss is going to be great. He's never been a head coach. He needs an opportunity to work with some young people. He's going to be amazing.
He's going to be an
gonna be
Eber
incredible.
bust.
Wait, why are you a Chiefs fan? Why aren't you a
Because
a
him and
Bears
Travis
fan?
Kelce make out.
He knows I'm a Bears fan.
Oh, okay.
I went to the game and was
so
rooting
bitter.
for my team because my team is no longer in it. Just like yours, Josh. Your team's no longer in it.
Oh, brutal.
Such
We
a
will talk
jerk.
about that in a minute. I'm surprised you haven't killed yourself.
Thanks for
yet.
picking up on FaceTime while I was on stage, though. Got a huge pop.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how many more bones do you want me to fucking throw you, buddy? Jesus Christ. And I'm getting a call on the other line from Travis Kelce and a bunch of
Oh, I
other
bet you
personal
are. You
athletes
got to
that I
set
gotta
up
go
your
hang out
date
with, so-
spot.
I'll hit you when we're done.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
All
Goodbye.
right, later. That was. I mean, I don't want to bring it up, but we're gonna. That was one of the worst losses. Like that's.
No,
ever
you know,
fucking
but here's the
happened.
thing. I mean,
Do you?
I've suffered
expect
through
them?
such
Yeah.
awful that it's like now it's like triumphant losses.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I completely agree with that.
This
And
all
I
feels
think-
good, but it's like I want more, obviously. But this all feels good.
I think of it almost
Because
exactly.
now you're gonna have like the.
We're just like getting there. You know what I mean? I'm sick of like I was 20 years. You fuckers beat us in the division, just keeping us down. Where we had 9-7, 8-8, 6-10, whatever. You know what I mean? Like just for 20 years.
I would look. Obviously, it's a little different because Mahomes ain't exactly Brady age level, but I would look at it comparable to when we did the exact same thing to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. It's like, all right, we've arrived.
Yeah.
You know, like Brady's
It's,
on his way out.
It's very
Mahomes isn't, but at
Jordan
least
over
you're
the
there.
Pistons sort of thing. Like you got it. Your first hurdle.
That
before
wild
you
card
get to
game, the fact that we had 7 perfect drives and
God,
just
that was great.
demolished Bill Belichick, that was enough to get me through the offseason.
But
Honestly,
but
that was my
it-
Super Bowl for now.
Unless you catch a fluke where like it all just clicks, and that's obviously you'd love that. If you're doing it methodically and correctly, that's the you got to get over your Chiefs. You got to get the Pats like skeletons out of your.
And you know
the
that-
ghosts.
did you know
get
this?
rid of that, and then the next step is the championship, and then the next step is Super Bowl.
Before we went to the 4 Super Bowls, we did the same exact pattern. We went to the AFC Championship 2 years before, lost. Then we went to the divisional round, lost. Then we went to 4 straight Super Bowls. So it's like time is coming.
What was the final last AFC Championship? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Was it
final.
close? Or
It
was
wasn't close.
It wasn't close?
They smoked us in the
Okay, so yeah, again, progress
and we beat
every
them.
year.
So like when we played them on Sunday Night Football this season, week 5 or something like that, we smoked them in
Right, right,
Arrowhead.
right.
Yes, yeah.
That
So
was when
that
they
was
reeled
like-
down
It's
too.
time.
Yes, that was when people were like, "Are they frauds?"
Right.
You know, that kind of thing.
The Chiefs were just like quietly like okay.
I'm praying the Bengals. I don't want them to even go to 3 Super Bowls in a row. approach the 4 in a row, because then it might come down to us eliminating them next year. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I want the
Well,
Bengals to win so bad.
I think in terms of storylines, when you have such a bad team, like the 13 seconds thing makes more sense than just a regular 2-minute drill because it's the Bills. When the Mets are up by 10 in the 9th, people are like, you can turn it off. I'm like, I'd rather be up by 1 because then you're just winning a game and you might lose the game, whatever. When you're like, now there's potential for historic meltdown.
Yes.
And that's what we usually do.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't like to have big leads. I don't like to be in really good shape.
I
Because
knew.
then, yeah.
I said
This
there's
is true.
I'd rather
like,
be in like
I don't
normal.
like freedom. This is
Yeah,
true
yeah.
fucking prisoner mentality,
It really is.
abuse type shit.
When we had 13 seconds left, I go, I'm so glad we're in the lead because they'll probably tie it.
Did you genuinely think that? Like,
I did, because
I do think that way, but I was like, I think they're safe. Like, I think
no, I mean, when it comes to the Bills, I go, we saw so many walk-offs too this weekend where it's like,
yeah.
I didn't trust it, and then I was on stage, by the way, during, like, I had to go on stage.
Was it on TV or no? You
Well,
just
they made them put the screen behind me,
Yeah.
and I did the entire fourth quarter and overtime, which took an hour. I did that, and then I did an hour of comedy, and I drank like 10 beers.
Wait, so
I was
you
on
were
stage for like
like,
fucking Aries
just
Spears time
talking,
on stage,
like,
yeah, dude. I just did like
That's really
I did
cool,
like
actually.
fake play-by-play. I'm gonna put it out actually on my Patreon. It's
Yeah,
gonna be like
that is
it'll be
cool.
like a special because
Were
it's
you
like an hour
headlining,
long.
like, and then
Yeah, in Milwaukee Improv. They had just had and I was with Annie for the first 4 shows,
Yeah.
then I headlined Sunday. And
Wow.
the Saturday night game,
There's a market there, by the way. You should like do that on purpose during the football season or something.
dude. I mean,
Or,
it
like,
was
in
a
Buffalo,
lot of
imagine,
fun.
like-
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Where were
I
you?
want to do that on my
Milwaukee?
Patreon. That's like my dream
Yeah.
for my Patreon
Yeah,
eventually.
I mean, it's
is
not
to
easy. You got to do
go
it
to
well,
cities and do it. Yeah, no, but I feel like I like thrive in that kind of thing, and so I'm gonna definitely put it out. But
How much talking were you doing?
a lot. I mean, I
lot.
was like, there was commercial. I'm just like, I don't even remember what I was talking about, but I was talking constantly.
Yeah.
and I feel like
That's
streaming into a void for the entire
See,
quarantine
that is
for
the hard
hours on end.
thing with we do a lot of like live streams, and there's a ton of silence. People kind of just like
Oh,
sit on
dude,
their phones and stuff like that.
I watch
It's different
Talk
in
your
front
way
of a
through it.
crowd.
I watch your streams, your electric chair streams and stuff. I'm so jealous. I wish I had people to do them with because I'm alone doing this,
Yeah.
and I'm just rambling. I'm
Those are
talking about
truly the great
everything.
electric chairs when you watch a man like go crazy.
That's
You watch
yeah.
them lose
I'm
their
alone,
mind.
and I mean these people watched me on stage collapse. Basically, I was doing rally shotguns to.
I
mean,
you
like
had,
it was-
like 10 beers and then did your show.
Yeah, dude. I don't even remember my set, and they were like, "You did another hour after the game. That was crazy."
And you did like your material.
I did my act after the game. I'm like,
You're just like,
well, here we go. Yeah, yeah.
You're like that TikTok of that girl who's dancing.
I did.
crying,
Yeah,
and it's like-
exactly. I did
and then
two.
She said, "Fuck yourself."
I shotgunned 2 beers after. I go, we have to do a reset, and then I'll do comedy.
Yeah.
And so I shotgunned 2 beers in a row, and then I go, hey, I just went
Yeah.
straight into my act like nothing happened. I'm like, just play along. Let's act like nothing happened.
That game, you know what? I don't really think it's getting talked about enough because it was all like the Mahomes dick sucking. That was all made possible by the fear of Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to kick to him. Like those sort of things are like
Well, now
when they
rumor is
wouldn't even
starting to
throw
come
the
out.
ball to Revis's side, and it's like things where it's like you start to act goofy because you're afraid of someone, but it was like pick your poison.
Well, rumor is starting to come out that the call was sent in from on high. McDermott said squib it, and whether that was not relayed to the special
work
teams
either.
coach or the kicker, he decided to go against it.
Because I mean, squib is you're giving him good field position.
I feel like
Mahomes,
it's
and that
automatic
feels
time
scary.
off the clock.
It is,
Yes,
but
it's
it's like, like
3 seconds
Yeah,
at
I know,
least.
and I guess that makes the difference because they were running up and they
a
barely.
touchback
right, they-
is the worst case scenario because there's no time off the clock. At least kick it to like the 5
yeah.
if you're gonna
Yeah,
bomb
yeah.
it, and that way they have to return it for a couple of seconds
Yeah.
right.
and kill some time.
Yeah,
But a touchback was
it
the
was
dumbest
the perfect fucking
thing that
storm,
you could have done.
But well, in hindsight, but it was also like I mean, Tyreek Hill had just ripped off 60 yards on his
No, and I
feet,
get
you know,
that
it's
too.
like,
Yeah, and
They were kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. But
if
But, man,
they
that was fucking brutal.
played the way that they played, doesn't matter what field position they were in at all.
they were gonna
score.
grab 30. We said this the other day, and it sounds like one of those things like when you're watching sports with your girlfriend, but it's like I still haven't gotten a really good answer. And when anybody plays a 2-minute drill, they just always just chew up the field.
Yeah.
And it's like, why don't you always do that? Maybe the defense is playing a certain way and giving you those yards or whatever. But it's like everybody always scores at least a field goal.
Well, that's
so
what
just
it's
do
like-
that always. Just
Yeah.
play that way always.
I think there's an aspect to pre but like I don't know. It does not make sense to me at all.
It seems,
Why?
like, it
'Cause
seems
it's-
to always
whenever
work.
you need points,
You get
points, and maybe that's just because I watch
and
my team,
and that's
which
also
is a
not
good
true
team,
because you do. You
and
know, I've watched the Jets plenty of times just go fucking.
That was
you know,
the remarkable thing
four
about this
and, you
game,
know,
though, was we
even
came
bad
back
teams.
and we kept scoring.
Yeah.
Doesn't usually happen.
No, I was
Yeah.
thinking like usually when you get you blow your load. And,
Yeah.
And Josh Allen was like, all right, I'll go back out there and do it again.
I can't believe
And I think
how-
he would have just kept doing it.
I will
think.
say this for the record, and I've said this plenty of times. When we were talking about drafting Josh Allen, I used to get high and watch Wyoming games and bet on them and stuff when I was just like living in Buffalo because it was West Coast. And they'd be on the ESPN Plus app. And I'm like, we're going to draft the guy from Wyoming?
I know.
What the fuck? And I was like, I will throw myself off the U.S. Bank building if we draft Josh Allen. And now I'm
But
like,
he's so good.
the second we
man.
took him, I said, you are my new god. I didn't choose you like like someone would choose a god. So here we are. I have to live and die with you. And he's been electric, and I love him.
Man, I would have loved the
He's
Jets to do
been.
I do that. I would do that with any. When EJ Manuel got drafted, I did the same. I was
Dude,
like
see,
all
when-
about it.
when
Wasn't he
EJ
like
Manuel
a
got
fifth
drafted,
overall pick or something crazy
He
like
was
that?
in the first round. It
Yeah.
was, I think, 13th
It was
overall.
when EJ, because I was at FSU for Manuel and Ponder, and when both of them got drafted, I was like, I could be a pro scout because I watched them play for 4 years or 2 years, whatever it was,
Ponder
and I
was
could
so
tell
bad.
you that both of these guys are shitty.
Geno Smith
quarterbacks.
was in that draft too.
But Geno
Yes.
was like balling out for like 600 yards at West
Yeah,
Virginia.
they
and
neither
shit,
of these
like-
guys, neither Ponder nor fucking
at least
EJ Manuel
Geno,
ever
like-
lit
Geno's
up.
still in the goddamn league.
Yeah, like
look at
Geno's
him.
not
that's
good,
right,
but
he's in
like,
Seattle, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
He
he's like,
started a couple
he's a
games.
football player, you know.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Ponder
It's like
and those
Josh
guys.
Johnson. That guy, every time he starts a new game, it's like, let's see that fucking
See those
CVS
stats.
receipt of teams he's been on.
Yeah. Usually we don't talk much sports, but did you see? I was tweeting about it a couple days ago. The story about Sonny Liston firing the gun at Muhammad Ali.
I briefly saw the video.
It's one of the wildest stories that
Is this an old
never
story?
talked
Or-
about. So
I mean-
it's an old story.
I was gonna say these
Well,
people
I mean,
are
you know,
dead.
it's
yeah.
Muhammad Ali. Yeah. There's a video, but the video is a movie reenacting it. So the
Okay.
video is not real, but the
Okay,
story is
okay.
real. And so in the video, Muhammad Ali's at the casino, and Sonny Liston's playing on like a blackjack table or something, and Muhammad Ali's kind of getting like held back, and he's like, "You're a bum, you won't take the fight, you're a bum," and he just like pulls it out, and he's like, and he's kind of doing it like this, like bow, 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 and
Does he
Muhammad Ali
fire
like,
it?
ducks, yes,
Oh,
and
wow.
the crowd, the casino's going wild, and then he goes back to the table, and everyone's kind of like frozen, and he points it at himself. And pulls the trigger and reveals his blanks,
Jesus.
and then just like kind of shrugs, and
But he's shooting blanks in the
Yeah.
air, so it's making noise.
but it's not in the air. It's like
At people, yeah.
and
Wild.
like and
Baldwin
the
style.
What theater?
it was a casino.
He should have
It
put it
wasn't
to
like
his
a-
head.
Yeah, right. But it's like I don't think there was any charges or anything. You had never heard it. I had never heard it. It's like, could you imagine today if like McGregor and pulled out a gun on Khabib and it was blanks and we were,
Every
it would
politician would
fucking
be tweeting about
nuts.
it.
I started a book that I never finished reading at the very start of the pandemic called The Murder of Sonny Liston, Las Vegas Heroin and Heavyweights. Very
He
good
was
book.
gang related, right?
I probably would have been in there if I finished it. I never finished it.
Yeah, he got caught up.
Be
in,
like, whatever did happen to him? I think he got murdered, but
because he took a dive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was known for taking the dive, but it was like
The craziest thing in that book that I from where I'd gotten to was that when he was growing up in Vegas, the police used to arrest people, and the arrest charge would be NOS, and it would be N-word on the strip. And it was just a black dude on the strip, and they'd write N-O. Like, they weren't pretending it was anything else.
oh yeah,
were
they
like,
had that
it
in
was-
Jersey, didn't they? Where it was like white man standing, black man walking, something like that. It was in Jersey, like in Camden. It was like if there's a white guy standing, or no, it was black guy standing, white guy walking. That was the thing to
charge.
look out for, not on all the cameras. Because if it was a white guy walking, he was probably going to buy drugs from somewhere, or had just bought them. And if it was a
standing.
black guy standing, he's selling drugs.
Oh,
That's
that's
crazy.
some racist ass shit.
Yeah.
Racist ass shit, man. So what's good? You're out in LA, right?
Yeah, dude. I'm just like been on the road.
Oh wait, real quick before we even get into all that.
Yeah.
Randomly, one of our guys, Dana Beers, was talking about drinking more water, and this dude on Twitter jumped in and said that he said, "Be careful. I used to drink 3 to 4 gallons of water a day, and basically depleted my entire body of electrolytes. Needed to go to the hospital, and it fucked me up for a good like half a year, where he was like, he had an IV drip of sodium.
Water's dangerous.
And I remember you guys didn't you guys kill that chick?
That wasn't us.
Oh, I thought you were part of that one. I thought
No.
No, that's out of California, right?
That was in Seattle.
Oh, I guess it was
or
maybe you
something
were
like
saying
that?
you stopped doing all
No,
those because of that girl.
yes,
You used to do all that
we
shit,
used to
right?
do all that. We
Yeah.
actually did one with coffee, where it was like, don't
What we're
break.
talking
We
about,
did
by the way,
like
is
don't
the
break
hold
the
your
seal.
wheat.
It was a
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hold
So,
your
so,
wheat
so,
thing, yeah.
to paint the picture better.
I'm like,
when
no,
these-
that wasn't us.
when radio stations would do like there was one infamously out on the West Coast. It was like who can drink the most water, and this woman
That was so well
drowned
done.
herself by drinking too much water, and that was the end of radio stations doing
all the
wacky
way
shit.
along, yeah, and like nobody would ever even sign up. Like now, I don't even know how you would get people. We used to do listener bullshit all the time. Like I almost killed listeners like 6 times.
Things that people would do for just like 2 tickets to like Metallica.
Oh
or
my god,
something.
when the Bills
Fucking
were
crazy.
dog shit, I had 2 guys swim in like this is really fucked up, this contest. There was in the Niagara River, a missing like woman was found, and all her body parts were found, but her head wasn't.
No.
So I took a bunch of Barbies and I ripped them up and I threw them into
Life size or little ones?
little Barbies, and I threw them into this like offshoot of the Niagara River, and I put one head in there, and I go, first guy to find the head gets the tickets. That was the contest. And so all these listeners jumped into the thing. I'm not a lifeguard or anything. No one's like watching to make sure they're not drowning or like getting taken into the actual Niagara River.
And you wouldn't have even really known, like, unless it's not like you counted, like, okay, we have 36 people, let's make sure 36 come out.
Oh,
It
yeah,
would have
no.
been Like,
Yeah.
someone could have got washed away.
They sign
and you wouldn't even
waivers,
fucking
and
know
then
the
you
difference.
find out these waivers don't do anything. Because that we for we thing, they got fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And of
no.
course
It
she
was
signed
actually
one.
we ended up looking up. I think it was $16 million.
Yeah.
$16 million to lose mom.
And
His mom really wanted you to get a week.
none of those people ever worked in radio again, which is probably a blessing for them, but wild.
What were now things like, I guess the hold your wee.
We used to do Don't Break the Seal with coffee, though. And we actually got a spot. We had like Tim Hortons sponsor it.
Just who could hold their coffee the longest?
Yeah, like people would have to drink a bunch of coffee
no
like
shit, yeah.
I was
simultaneously,
gonna say,
and they
what-
would stand in
More,
buckets.
is it holding your pee or your poop?
Yeah.
Well, hey, don't break the seal, you know? Whatever happens, happens. But yeah, it was like the last one to not piss themselves.
Yeah. Didn't you get inside of sleeping bags with people?
Nude with a dude.
Nude with a wee for wee, nude with a dude.
One of the greatest
don't-
concoctions. I don't remember who came up with the name. It was probably either Jim Kurzel or somebody else. But
You had to do it because
It
like no one
was-
else showed up. or
well, the
something like
first time we did it, it was electric, and 2 people showed up to do it. I think for like Motley Crue tickets or something. And again, yeah, just buy them for $18.
that? How much could it be?
But so these 2 dudes got into the sleeping bag together, and we had like little rounds to keep it going. And we would be like, all right, rotate. So they'd have to do like front to back and like front to front. And they were completely naked in the sleeping bag, obviously. Nude with a
so
dude. And then we started throwing porn, you know, just for like shits and
So,
giggles.
like,
be
who
like,
gets
get a
hard?
boner, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
What
we're
would you
throwing
rather,
dildos
would you
and
rather
stuff.
go front to back to back, front to front?
Well, this is why I'm going to hold my answer, because after that one, the way the guy won, by the way, we were like getting to the end of the show. We're like, someone has to do something here. You guys are a little too comfortable.
They were just hanging.
They're just chilling. Yeah, we need a winner. And so the one dude started beating off,
Oh my god.
and the other guy goes, I can't handle that. And he like freaked out and got out.
Dude,
I mean,
I
yeah,
don't
shit.
think if I was in there that long, that's not doing it.
Yeah, at that point you're pot committed.
Yeah, at that point, that's not
a guy
getting
coming
out.
on you is not.
If
gonna do it.
he came on
He's
me,
beating
we'd
on-
fist
Well, he's
fight
gonna
in
get
the
Well, they were like
fucking
face to
thing.
face. There's a guy face to face with you, like this close, beating off. I don't know, man.
Dude, if we've already gone dick to dick, him's like you can kind of get sideways in a fucking thing. If he came on me, then we'd fist fight. In
Well,
it.
that would have been
well,
the
the
next
thing is, he's coming on like your dick.
Is he? If he's shooting it at me,
dude. Okay, so
Right? You're
this
getting-
is
you're
wild
gonna get-
because
I mean, if anyone, it's like spitting on me. Like, we're gonna fight inside of, and then I think after we fought and hopefully I knocked him out, would I be allowed to kind of push him out?
I like that you're thinking of it as if your child's life is on the line, whereas this guy was doing it for like
Motley
Motley Crue tickets.
I was doing. Honestly, in my head, it was happening for free.
For pride, yeah.
This is just an argument.
The next time though, we did it for Metallica tickets. I don't know if this says anything about Metallica or if the contest preceded itself, but only one guy showed up. So I don't want to have a dead bit for the show, so I got in the sleeping bag. And I just told him, I go, don't get crazy. You're going to win. Just get me
hang
through
out for, like-
8:30. And
Yeah.
Don't get crazy.
Yeah, I'm like,
Listen, dude, don't start.
Just
fucking
give me to
shoving fingers up your
8:30
ass.
so we can fill a segment or two, and then you get to get out of here with your fucking ticket.
Dude, who's the guitarist of Metallica?
Kirk
Lars,
Hammett.
bro.
No,
Lars is the drummer.
Who's the bassist then?
Maybe Kirk's. Oh, bassist is Jose Trujillo.
It's like Tim
You're talking about the
Hadfield.
old. That's
Right?
James Hetfield's the lead singer and guitar
Okay,
player.
James
yeah.
Hetfield. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking of. So I was
I
recently.
think I just named all the members.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's like the main guy.
I
Yeah,
hosted.
yeah, yeah.
I hosted
Yeah.
mandatory Metallica. I better know that. I know all the old bass players.
James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, Kirk Hammett, Robert Trujillo. There's a lot.
So-
of
Robert.
them,
I said Jose. My bad. That
So
was
I
racist.
was-
Racist.
I was reading a
Cancel
thread
me.
about like bands that had a much longer lifetime, or bands that like span genres that you didn't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
I got in a deep hole about the band Chumbawamba
Nice.
because I thought that was like
band, right?
their
That's
one like pop hit song.
Yeah.
And they just kind of died after that. That band spanned like 30 years. They were in a Nacro communist collective where like they just lived together. Dude, they fucking sold. They're crazy, bro.
But they're like huge in Europe.
They were a British band, yeah. So they're like real, like they were punk for a while, they were grunge for a while. Tub Thumper is like a song for the people. Like it's like
Right.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. It's about like the fucking working class.
Well, it was used in like soccer games and stuff, I'm sure too. So that
Well,
people
they
use
sold
it, as,
it
like,
to
an anthem.
GM for a commercial, and then gave all of those millions of dollars that GM paid them for the commercial to companies to fight GM.
That's
They were
wild.
like
Love
fucking.
it.
And the reason I'm thinking of all this is they have a song. It's kind of hot called "The Torture of James Hetfield," and that was a song
Interesting.
about how in Guantanamo Bay they were using
They play
Metallica
the
songs
music,
to
right?
torture.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Members. And
What?
it's like-
That'd be like that was my torture for almost 18 years hosting mandatory Metallica. I had to play 2 songs at night at 10 p.m. every night for my entire life for a while there.
Yeah, you got
to the
that-
point where people thought I liked Metallica. To like, I was upset. I'm like, no, I just host the show.
Yeah, you got
know?
that radio blood in you, like old fashioned radio.
Yeah. No, I was
I've
in
always,
it for a while.
if we could, I wish I could do music in the podcast. Be like, we're gonna take a break, and like, here's a new song that I found, or like a throwback. 'Cause
It
I
was
just
fun
Feel like incorporating
queuing
music
up
into this whole
songs.
thing is cool. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
talking up songs
Yeah.
was fun, and
Yeah.
doing it like smooth was
Yeah.
such like a thing where I like prided myself on it. I'm so rusty now I wouldn't be able to do it, but like I got good at it.
Kirk
for-
Minahan, you know him? He's
Yeah,
on our
yeah.
network. He once did a whole podcast of those. I think he called them lead-ins or something.
Yeah,
like that,
talk-ups.
Where
Yeah,
he
yeah. Hit
talk
the
ups.
post.
He hit the post. That's what
Yeah,
it's called.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
called hit the post, and it was just an hour of him doing it like 50 times in a row. Because I think he says he has like the greatest internal clock in the world, where you can put on any song, and he knows exactly how many seconds you have until like the beat drops or the lyrics start. Cause
Or
so
if you
like,
work in
this
a-
is top of the charts in 1983, a little ditty called like blah blah blah, and then it would be like, and he just did that for a full fucking hour.
Really?
Dude, if
Yeah,
you do,
it's pretty cool.
If you do it long enough too, like you're playing, let's say in a calendar year, you're playing like the same 30 songs
Yeah,
pretty much
all the time, right?
And then the like ones that are the gold standards, you're playing them all the time. Like there
Starts
are
to hit your
songs
brain.
that I can't even remember who the artist or what the song is called, but I can talk up the intro because I remember like exactly when the guy's gonna start singing.
Mm-hmm. It's a little different
So
now
weird.
because everything there's no like underground music, but I used to love being like the guy who finds a song first.
No, that's the thing. There
And-
is, but I don't know. Like everything is so active in terms of how we find things.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to click on things to find them now. There's no like passive listening. Like the radio, you could be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and you're just stumbling around. You just find something.
Yeah, yeah,
And that was
yeah.
the fun of it. Like we would do crazy wild shit, and then people would call in and be like, "What the fuck's going on?" You know what I mean? Like because they would just find it.
Right, right.
There's nobody. I mean, like people
no,
stumble
you put
across
on
the
your favorite
podcast.
song, you put on a playlist maybe that
yeah,
shuffles around.
nobody's coming in the middle of this conversation going like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?"
Well, that's why there's still always. It's kind of dead now. I feel bad for the next generation. When you stumble upon a movie on TNT,
Right.
or you put on the radio and you're like, it's my favorite song, because it's like you might not have heard that song that day until in this exact moment, and you get a little like, or I stayed in the car for an extra minute letting that song finish because I can't.
Right.
That's gone.
And
you
I
have
find-
everything at your fingertips now forever.
I find myself watching and consuming less things because I don't know what to pick for myself. I wish it was like thrusted upon me where
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I only have 24 channels. Everything's an infomercial
Yeah.
except, green
one
fried
thing that I have
tomatoes
to
or whatever
watch.
the fuck
You
it
do,
is.
you do get the choice overload.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna make a
It's
choice.
a,
I'm just gonna watch a show I'm comfortable with because that makes me peaceful. Like,
Cheese-
Have you ever done the
Cheesecake
shuffle
wedding.
on Netflix? That's
dude, no,
dog
my
shit.
Yeah,
dad
it
did
doesn't
the other
work though,
day.
right?
It was insane.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It was
It's for insane
dude, we
people.
it was crazy.
I wish it worked. It'd be cool, but
It'd
it
be
doesn't.
cool if they like knew you and were like,
Well,
here's something based off of your shit.
98% match and shit. It
You would
should
think,
be
but no,
able
it's
to,
like,
but it's never.
Did this bring me to another person's Netflix? I don't even know this side of Netflix. I didn't know this was here.
We were sitting there, like, whole family, right? Everyone's sitting there. We're fucking on our phones. It's not. We had Seinfeld on TV, and no one's like super paying attention, but no one's not paying attention either. It's Seinfeld, and he's never seen it, and I don't know if like he felt bad because he's never seen it or whatever. That like you could see him start kind of like jittery, and he's like, all right, well, anyone want to watch something else? And like everyone's like, nah, this is fine. And he's like, oh, we gotta put something else on. And he just grabs the remote, and he's like, what else do you guys want to watch? And we're like, dude, we were fine with that. Like, we don't really care. And he's like, well, pick something. We were Seinfeld. I picked Seinfeld. And he's like, nah, sorry. And then he just hits random. And at that point, I put my phone down. I was like, really? Literally anything but Seinfeld is your choice.
What did it come up with?
Because it gives you like it doesn't immediately play. It's not like if the movie starts. Like, it's kind of like in
season 1 or some shit where you have to pick it then.
no, it's like in a box and it's kind of starting, but there is still a next button.
Okay.
And then we did next for a while, and I was like, you know what? Let's go to the bar. Like it was just like it was random shit
What
popping
do you
up.
think? Like the episode of Seinfeld, like
I think he was watching TV and he didn't want to watch Seinfeld, but also couldn't make a fucking choice about what he wanted to watch. So we just ended up watching. I don't know what our next play was, but TV ceased at that point. I was like, all right, we're watching nothing.
Dude, I had a funny moment with my mom and dad on the TV recently. So every Saturday I bring my kids over to their house, and my dad is happy to play with them, but he also like wants to enjoy a Saturday where he watches bad movies.
Yeah.
So I want to say, fuck, I don't know what movie it was, but like there was some violence and sex in it and bad. It was a R-rated movie. I can't remember what it was, but it was pretty like it was not a good movie and just like a lot of gratuitous shit. And so my mom was like, Tim, like turn the TV off, and he turned it off. And then like we go to another room, we're playing, we come back, and the TV's on again. And she's like, can you turn it off, please, the kids? And it like kind of kept happening, and she was like, how many fucking times am I gonna have to tell you this? And he was like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not putting it on. And she was like, okay, yeah, really? Like, is it just magically happening? Like 10 minutes later, we're all hanging out, and the TV just popped on. And I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't know if it was a goddamn ghost.
some M. Night
I don't know
Shyamalan
if someone
shit right
sitting
there,
on
yeah.
the remote or something. But I was like, vindication! Like, Dad,
wild.
run up the score on this bitch. Tell her, show her. It was amazing.
You know what would be a fun not podcast, but like just an interesting game to play is to like look at people's Netflix front pages.
Oh.
I mean, they're so different when you look at.
Yeah, because like, have you ever been
recommended
to
for
like
you
a
and-
black guy's house and looked at his Netflix? You're like, this Netflix exists?
Yeah, it feels like you're in a different country. It's like this is
Yeah.
Brazil Netflix.
Dude, I
This
did
is
that
white
with
Netflix.
Pornhub
This is
once.
Yes, I was gonna say
I-
porn's the same way.
I was on Pornhub in Portugal, and it was like because what's like
.pu
being
or some
watched
shit.
around you or whatever is all American, and so
Wild.
that it was porn.
You know what's
there.
gotta be wild? You go to Pornhub in Germany.
Oh, it's all shit.
Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's like romantic love because they're just so fucking
we're
porn
tired
to
of
them
this.
is like intimacy.
I got to try that next time I'm overseas and see what the
Yeah,
porn, because
get
the
that in
porn
there.
I don't do like around me. I don't like this. I don't want to know around me who's jerking to what. I want to jerk to what. I don't want to know some guys like in the hotel doing the same thing. you
Yeah,
know?
no, I mean,
Does it give you like?
I've always said the recommended for you on Pornhub is a real look in the mirror where you've got to like.
I don't
want
wanna
to
see that. Yeah, I don't wanna
it's
know
like,
what I'm-
And sometimes I'm like, no.
Yeah, well, no, that was-
no.
Yeah,
that's
I
not
do that with
me.
Netflix though too. I go,
Yeah,
what do
yeah.
you think?
Emily in Paris? Definitely not.
yeah.
Get
Where'd you
out
come
of
up
here.
with that one? Algorithm. You don't know me.
Let me see.
There was a time when the recommended for you scared me, and like everything technology based, it wins you over. We're like, you fucking know me.
Well, there's a couple things. You're gonna scroll. You're gonna find something.
Yeah, you get me.
I mean, I don't know. I am indiscriminate on like if I get a girlfriend next time, I'm gonna have to throw my phone into the ocean I think, and just get a new one and start over. I don't even want the cloud updating
Just get
me.
a flip phone.
Yeah,
because
dude.
of like
Because of just like links and nudes and just
meaning
willy-nilly.
like, you just don't want her knowing the real you.
No, I mean, like, I just don't want her to be upset because, like, I had a my last girlfriend got upset because I was liking other girls' pictures on Instagram.
Big point of contention.
I
point
was
of
like,
contention in this world.
she goes, you like that girl's? I'm like, which one? I just like every post.
Oh, I see. No, I'm very selective in my posts.
No, I go
That's
through
dangerous,
beep 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 beep
Why?
beep beep.
I mean, you seem to like in your
If you're
relationships
making
never
that
really care about
stance,
it, but
though-
like you need to almost flood the market with your likes.
Oh,
That
I
way
don't
she
like
can't-
pretty girls' pictures.
That's what. But so.
But if you
in the
ever
event
were
you
so
ever did
inclined,
is you
you're really
rat
throwing
yourself
yourself
out.
under the
That's
bus.
what I mean.
That's why I fucking withhold my likes.
Oof,
you guys
that's
out there
tough.
being fucking heart sluts.
Oh, I don't either. I don't
Yes,
like.
I'm a
can't
hard
either.
slut.
You double tap, double tap.
Me?
Oh,
Because guess
double
what?
and everything.
Somewhere back of their mind, they're like, he never likes my pictures. And then one day I'll like it, and they'll be like,
Whoa.
that's actually not my
Yes,
train of
but-
thought.
No, but it's supply and
a
demand.
lie, yeah.
It's-
Can I
I'm not
tell you this?
intentionally doing it. It's just, I don't know. I feel weird. Like if it's like a chick in a bikini.
Oh, I know. The only thing I've started liking recently
I'll
is
like
professional.
group pics or whatever.
I
but
don't
I
even
do a
do
tip
that.
of the cap. I wish I could do a, like a nice little.
I do
they gotta think
professional
I'm
likes
being,
only. I'll that's a funny video or a podcast promo. I support the gang, support the homies.
I'm very
But I
much
don't-
in that boat.
And I'm
Can
actually
I
trying to
make-
get better at it because I sit there and I look. I'm like, how come I didn't get it?
particularly employees, particularly people we work
Yes.
with. Like, I can't like a picture, like a hot picture you posted.
No,
Sure.
super awkward.
I'll post like you want to post goofy pics, want to post group pics. I'll like those all day. I can't go around liking bikini
Well,
pics of people I work with.
No,
here's
no,
where
no.
the indiscriminate
What are you
tactic
laughing
works
at
in your
over there?
favor too. If you are so indiscriminate with it, they think, oh, he's just liking everything,
Yeah.
so of course he liked the bikini picture. It's getting a lot of action on here, and
Yep.
it came up in his feed. You can also weaponize it and not like a person's, and they're like, he likes everything.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not
Funny,
like
except
mine.
for mine.
You can weaponize
but wait,
with
you
the
can
withholding.
still see where what someone's liking.
You can. I can
Like-
still
like,
see like
where
one
can
name,
I
like
go?
the most common name.
Well,
or
you know
like-
what's a little dangerous is when you see your top stories.
Yeah.
It's like when the first 6 little circles are all like hot chicks. It's like
if you were to do investigating, you can
Really,
see what people are liking.
my top 6. I'm like a fucking dad. My top 6 is all my family.
There's a
Like
top
the first,
6. I don't know.
Not
I've
top
never.
6, but like
not to,
the.
but like all of these they feed you the ones that you watch.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did not know that.
yeah, like the people. I don't even know if
Take
it's
a look.
watchable.
Ma-
it's
Well,
really
mine is
distracting.
scandalous, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I just thought I was following a certain.
But
Yeah,
also at the
my
same
top
time,
3
that shit
are
gets
Nick,
weird.
my sister, KFC.
Oh, you
Radio.
texted me and I didn't even realize.
It's
Sorry
like
about that.
mine's like Pornhub area. This chick I went to high school with, and Jake Bass, obviously. Like, so maybe sometimes
mine are
shit
like
gets weird, you know.
Mine are like 2 ex ladies and one I wish was an ex lady.
2x late, like 2
Three
girlfriends.
people I slept with, and 4th what I wish I did are my top 4.
Yeah. That checks out.
Yeah. And then it's like my friend Jacka.
It really is just a place to follow or interact in some level with people you've had sex or want to have sex with.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean,
internet.
my
That
girlfriend
is
was
the
correct in her fears, but I feel like I was. I mean, my logic is sound.
Well, when girls pull the like
You like the picture?
but when they're like I have a bad feeling like about that chick, and then you break up and then you fuck that chick, and it's like I knew it.
It's only because they put
it's-
that seed in your head.
Well, that, but also it's like, yeah, because
like, oh, you think
the
I could
reason
fuck
you're
her?
afraid is because it's like the girl I'm around or the girl I have the opportunities with and shit. So then when I'm free to do it,
Might as
it
well.
happens.
Yeah.
Or
you know,
never-
if you picked some like obscure chick that I had nothing to do with, and called it, and deep down I was like, wow, I do like fucking fantasize about that chick every night, you know.
that's
and
the
then,
thing,
and
yeah.
then but it's like. Yeah, the like other girl who like flirts with me all the time. That's super hot, and the only reason I'm not hooking up with her is because I'm loyal to you. But if I'm a free man, I'm gonna. It's not like you're calling some fucking
No.
crazy shot here.
You're saying I'm gonna hit the only pin standing.
Yeah,
it's the one chick in
exactly.
my life. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
that's the
only
one
other
I'm gonna
option.
hit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they could plant the seed, and you go, "Oh,
Maybe I will.
you think
fuck
I
her.
have a shot
Yeah, that
with her?"
too.
Yeah.
That too.
So then you're
It's
like,
like, oh, you're
no
worried
way.
about this?
Oh,
Shit.
maybe I do have a shot.
Yeah, no,
I should
it's-
see what that's all about.
It was either gonna be her or my mom. Which one do you think?
And again, not saying that doesn't sting or piss you off or whatever, but it's not like
It's the same thing with guys. It's like the guy they say don't to worry about
Yeah,
or whatever that
yeah.
saying is.
But also, it's not. It's like I
feel like
knew
that's
it
a-
all
did you guys
along.
invent
You
that
were like, No, we didn't invent it, but I actually thought specifically about that the other day because
You thought about if you invented that one?
no, but who did that?
Oh,
like,
okay.
You know, you versus the guy. She said not
said
to worry
not to
about.
worry about.
Like somebody out there.
It sounds
did
like a
that
fights
first,
number.
you know,
Yeah.
and it's like that was me. And the
You
whole
sure you
world
didn't do it fights? Somewhere deep back in the day?
That brain, you never know with that fucking brain. But like it's you know they treat that thing. It's almost like you were like cheating on like mentally or something, and it's like no, it's almost I almost think it's like a badge of honor, like a plus. It's like I could have been doing this the whole time and I wasn't
Right.
because we were in a relationship.
Yeah.
And now I am. Leave me alone.
Yeah, look at you called it, lady. You know? Kudos. What do you want?
So before we got sidetracked, out in LA, where you were doing your mom's house, and
Yes.
then flying solo.
Yes, still flying
on
solo.
tour with Lanny, right?
I'm doing some dates
Maybe
with
not
her
on
just
tour,
because
but
it's
you're,
fun,
like,
you know.
yeah.
Like we're
That's
like
gotta be
best
a
friends.
scene.
We love hanging out, so it's fun to just. Plus, like during COVID, I wasn't on stage at all, so it's like the more reps on the road, the better.
Yeah.
And even if I'm not headlining, then I can work in front of an audience that isn't mine.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I came out of COVID and only did my own crowds, I would get weak and face fucked. You know what I mean? So I need to go in front of like her own and just get bad at comedy. So it's
Right,
been
right,
like
right.
a really useful thing, and also we just love hanging out.
You guys
so.
were friends for a long time now, or
Not
because
really.
of
I mean,
business,
like
or what?
right before COVID, we started like doing shows together, and then like out of it, she's like, "Will you just come on the road with me? I know like you're headlining, but can you just do gigs with me because it's more fun or whatever?" I'm like, "Sure,
Yeah,
I
fuck
want
yeah.
the gigs."
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah.
And she takes care of everything, so it's like easy peasy. It's the best. Can't
What
complain.
we were talking about recently with Potter about blindness. Wasn't something coming up?
Oh, I
in
went
our
into the
conversation?
moat.
What'd you say?
I fell into a moat.
Oh yeah, yes. That's
Yeah.
one of the greatest stories of all time. Completely
Yeah.
head submerged that they're falling into
Oh
a
yeah,
boat.
no, it's.
But I thought we had a conversation about it. I don't remember what. Can I try those on?
of course, I wore my old school pair too because they have the. Now you can see the real.
Do they get-
the realness?
Do they get stretched out with Kev? Can you see?
No, I mean they're probably
I
those things
mean,
are
you
been through
know.
battle. So I mean, little Kevin and John Head won't do anything to
Everything's
them.
very very small. Like,
Yeah,
let me-
I mean,
let me see
I-
if I could like text Feidelberg.
I actually navigate pretty well without them.
Really?
Yeah, like
Really? I thought you were like.
like in a room I can get around, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
as long as there's no medieval defense mechanisms in my,
The
I get a bucket of tar dumped on my head. next
is
to
it
them.
like being blind? Well, you're not blind, but you know what I mean.
Pretty much? I
Pretty
mean,
much. Is that so? Like I see tons of blind people in the city. Is it
yes,
possible?
I don't
to
know
live-
how they do that.
Okay, but see, that's what I've been wondering.
Not bad. I tried to
Have
text
they?
you,
But
yo,
that's what
dog,
I wonder
and I
too.
texted you,
Have
dog.
have they been blind their whole lives? Is that why they can navigate New York City with a stick? I was just thinking about that on the way here. Like, I'm just at the point of having enough sight where I'm still independent.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how these people. I live near like a Braille school too, which is weird, like a weird ominous thing. And
Yeah, what are the chances of that?
yeah, and there's like I see people walking around and I'm like, I still don't understand the concept of like how you find Braille.
I know. It's like okay, it's there, but like, how do you want to try them?
Sure, okay.
Like you go to the hotel and it's like the font's really huge, and then you see the font for the Braille is tiny underneath it.
It's hard to see with those.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
like the thought that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the fact that you texted
some-
me is impressive.
Yeah, I
You
got.
texted him.
I
huh?
did. I mean, I
was
got
it
to
all?
the text. I wanted to just say, "Yo,
How
dog,"
close were
and
you
I-
to the phone? I couldn't tell from.
No, it wasn't. I just knew. Like I knew to go to the top corner, and then I knew if I hit F, fights would have been the first one. So I was just trusting that I hit the F.
Oh, and then you did autofill.
Yeah, but
Okay.
like yeah, trying to find. Actually, it's kind of fucking me up that I wore them for a little while now, and like finding the little Braille underneath like the fire escape fucking
Yeah.
plaque. Where
I'm
like
just gonna
you
run
just
my
walk
hand around a fucking wall all day.
So
Well-
so do you know Braille?
No.
No, you didn't even
I'm
fucking bother.
fucked.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna get a dog. I'm gonna get a stick or something. They're gonna be like, "Have fun out there."
Well, that happened to me downstairs just the other day with a dude. So there's the thing. So I've gone back and forth a lot because I think about it a lot because I see so many blind people around. Where I do think it would make sense to move to a big city because if you're in fucking Sheboygan,
You're done.
there's nothing right. At least the street lights here they beep. You can get Ubers,
Yeah,
I guess. which
but
might
that's
end
some
up-
like fucking sonar shit. I'd rather just be like, well, there's nothing around here that I can wander into.
But then you can't. You're kind of confined to your house.
Yeah.
Right. Because you can't drive. There isn't.
I
an
am
Uber
now. Yeah,
service.
that's. I guess. I mean, L.A. I don't drive in L.A., which is like a mortal sin.
Yeah.
And I just moved there, and I said I'm not going to drive anymore. So I haven't driven a car, probably for the best.
I was gonna
in
say, could
4
you
years.
can?
Well, my father, back when I was 16, goes like, it's E F K
Oh, really? To get your
6,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
just memorized the line. He's
it,
like, they're doing line 5 and line 7. Memorize them both.
Wow. That's the
Hey, I
dad.
Yo,
blame
we should
blame
not be able to drive cars.
No.
Yeah.
Just humanity as a whole.
blame the long lines at the New York State DMV for me being able to
Because he
memorize
was
all
able
those
to
lines.
see. Yeah.
And so I did that, and then my eye doctor said, I'll never take away your independence. He's like, you're not killing people, you're driving around, I'm never
Well,
going to
not
take
yet,
away
Doc.
your... Yeah,
I was
well,
gonna say.
so he kept writing me notes for when I had to re-up. And he'd be like, this guy's chill to drive, here you go. And so I just deliver those and forego the eye test.
Oh, that.
Because
I guess,
I'd have
like,
an eye doctor's note
Who
where
are
they'd
they
be
to
like...
challenge a doctor?
Yeah, he'd be like,
you
this
know.
guy can drive. And I'd be like, here you go.
And the doctor
that's
would
how
be
you
like,
wonder
let's
how
just
old people
trust
can
that
do it.
he's fucking.
That's how old people do it, too.
Yeah.
Just if you want to forego the eye test, just have your eye doctor vouch for you and write a note.
But that's
We can
insane.
all do that.
But
That's just like having the concussion doctor say you don't have a concussion, so you can get back in the game when you
Yeah.
have a concussion.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Pump them full of steroids and get back out there. That's what they do with me. But yeah, no, I stopped driving when I moved to LA, and now I'm confined to Ubers, public transit, and LA is beautiful to walk, and I don't know why more people don't do it, but it does keep me in my house a little bit more than maybe here would. But here is like such a fucking, I would die here.
Well, the
I'm
thing.
thinking about living here though. It's kind of interesting.
Because of the blindness?
I
or
think
because
because
of,
of the
lifestyle?
indulgence. Yeah, no, just the lifestyle.
That's a different story.
I would be in the gutter.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle it, but I have been like, now that my podcast is doing well enough, I can pretty much go wherever I want.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, maybe I'd try out in New York.
Yeah.
Because I never fathomed living here. It always seems scary to be poor here.
What's scary to be poor anywhere, right?
Nah, I've been poor in Buffalo,
What
which is
scares you about being
impossible.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, you haven't.
But
You've been
here
middle
it
class
seemed
in
like
Buffalo,
like
maybe.
space money, and it also still seems like, the apartments are smaller. Like in LA, I feel like you get more bang for your buck in terms of like apartments
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like
Really?
it's comparable, but like for instance, I pay in my first apartment in LA, I paid $950 and I had a roommate, but he lived upstairs and I lived downstairs and had my own bathroom. $950.
It's crazy.
Double
That
apartment.
is crazy. Yeah.
And like here, that would be like a closet. I've had
Yeah.
friends who were paying like $1,300 to live in a windowless room here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I saw a TikTok today of the guy who said it. I don't know if this is true or not, but it was like, I live in actually the smallest apartment in New York City. Is that real? Like, do we, know how? Okay, yeah, it's like it's truly a closet with like a sink. I don't even think it has a fucking bathroom or something. Right? It's wild.
Yeah, but
But-
now that I
but it's
am
also-
doing all right, I look, I'm like, hey, maybe, I don't know. It's fun here. I do like it. I see some apartments like...
I get that. You're not a West Coast guy, dude.
No, I'm not. It's
So
really
get the
weird.
fuck outta
but it's
there.
kind of fun. You
Come
guys
to
should,
New York.
But here's the thing.
You're a
like,
New York guy,
It's
man.
fun there.
Is
It's
it?
fun there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
if you
it's
just
just
kind of like shed this whole like East Coast, West
LA,
Coast thing, you're
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
this is kind of weird and fun. And
What
I don't
do-
know.
what do
Like
you
you can
like
still
about
be
it?
in
The
East
weather?
Coast. The weather's great. I don't really give a shit, but like... It is nicer
Go
to
to
be
the
able to
beach
like.
a
I don't
lot?
have to. No, I never go to. I think I've been to the beach once.
Yeah, that's my man. Right there. So,
But I
so-
go to like a girl's house that lives near the beach, and it's fun to like hear the ocean.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure.
There's like fun,
Sure.
and like I don't know. It's just weird though. It's beautiful. You go outside, you're like, holy shit. I don't know. It just kind of encapsulates or like enchants you.
Yeah, no,
But like I don't know.
to
I
me, it's
I
like,
always say you
it's
should
like
come visit.
Yeah.
You might fall in love. What if you start? There should be a Barstool, LA.
Well, we tried and it didn't work. But
Oh,
that
yeah, I
was a
remember that
long
guy.
time
That's
ago.
true, yeah, I do.
Nick Insider.
Well,
It would
now,
work.
I
It would
mean-
work now if you found the right guys, but.
It's so much more chill too, because like I do like the time difference. That's the thing. That's really.
I don't.
But it's
I
fake
don't
life.
like the time.
Can I tell you why? I wake up earlier and go. It's like I've never changed my internal clock. I wake up at like 7 a.m. feeling spry. I go to. Sometimes I'm like, oh, and it's 10 o'clock. Here, I like it's
all
6
night.
a.m.
Yeah, that is tough.
I'm
That-
up
that's
all
for
night here.
sure
I'm like the
a problem.
bar just closed.
Yeah, no, that is definitely a problem.
LA's like
But
they
don't
put
you feel like
handcuffs on you. They're like it's
so
1 a.m. Get home. And you're like all right.
You wake up at you said 7.
7 like it's weird. It's so weird.
So you couldn't do that.
No. Fuck
So then you'd
No,
wake
but
up
I'm saying
at
you'd be
10,
I was
and you
here.
would actually be waking up at 1.
But here I would be
fucked.
waking up at afternoon always. I never woke up before. I was doing morning radio, but it would kill me. So maybe
Yeah.
that was the difference.
But
and then I would never, whenever I had a day off, it'd be like I'd wake up at 3. I'd wake up at 4.
Yeah, that's tough.
gangster.
In LA, I'm waking up. I'm like, oh, 7:30. Wow, look at this.
Yeah.
But it's really 10:30.
I
So
would, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I have to sometimes when the very rare times we would travel, it's like, oh man, like the blog people have already written blogs. This video's already been made. This topic is off the table. Someone's already covered it. It's
that
like,
was tough to like
yeah.
go to bed at 3 a.m. in LA, and the news cycle was kicking up.
Yeah.
Right, and you feel like you're.
But
about
then
to miss
I've just
something or whatever.
detached myself from all of that chase.
Yeah, I think.
Well,
that
it was
if you
different
can
at
do
Barstool.
that-
Was different because it was
Yeah,
like
I plugged. I've
there's-
deep unplugged from that matrix
Yes.
because of radio, not being in radio
That
anymore.
is it. If
That,
you're,
like-
I mean, if you're like in the financial markets and shit, you have to change.
Exactly,
You have to
yeah.
wake up at like 4 a.m. to be ready for.
Oh yeah, there's agents and shit who are like, it's 3 a.m. and they're doing emails or
Sure,
whatever. Cause
that sucks.
Yeah.
But there's always the allure of like then you're done by like 2, or Monday Night Football doesn't go till midnight. March Madness
Well,
tips off at 9 a.m. There's some fun shit there.
there are some caveats with all of that. When I had like an office job for 4 months, Monday Night Football starting at 5 was a nightmare. I'd be on the subway and they'd be like, kickoff. That
That's
sucked.
interesting. I always heard people enjoy it more though.
No, I
you
like
might
going
miss the
to bed.
beginning, but you're not up all
I like watching Sunday Night Football as I fall asleep, not like at dinner time.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
But hockey, I fell in love with again because games are at 4 and I can watch all of them and I'm not doing sets during games.
You know
That's
what's very good about hockey is like playoff hockey when you're doing 5 overtimes. It's not going
Oh,
to
yeah.
fucking 3 in the goddamn morning.
Oh, sure. I mean, the games start at 4.
Yeah.
So you're done by 7, then you can go out.
Right.
And then the West Coast games start at 7. I do miss like late night West Coast games though.
I never watched them because West Coast hockey's fake.
It is fake,
It's
but
shot from a different angle.
it's weird.
If
It was
watching it. You're like, this
different.
isn't hockey.
But
This is
weren't you
different.
like a little kid? I remember my aunt got the NHL network like when it first came out, and I used to just sleep over at her house and watch NHL on the fly. And it was basically like Red Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would have the West Coast games come on, and I'd be like, "This is wild. They
Yeah.
got colors of
Dude,
teal and
The sharks in particular?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a different sport.
Yeah.
exactly
Doesn't make sense.
I was asking because we were friendly with Logan Couture like way back, and we haven't heard from him in a little while. And I was like, is he still like doing his thing? It's like, yeah, still very fucking good. Still
Yeah.
like a captain or assistant captain of the team. Wouldn't know it. 'cause
How about that
it's-
Evander Kane business, huh?
Dude, his quote this morning
What was that? Fill me in.
fucking all time. So Kane's had a bunch of scandals. I think his wife or baby mom, whatever it is, she said that he was betting on games.
Yeah,
and
she threw him
then-
under the bus because he was like not giving her enough support, like money
Yeah.
and shit. So she was
How-
trying to
what
throw him
team
under
is
the bus for.
He was on the Sharks.
Okay.
And then there's something else happened too. What
well,
was it?
he then he had a fake COVID.
Yes, yeah, fake COVID.
Thing.
Vax or-
card.
okay.
Yeah, which
So
is a
he got
felony
cut.
now, I guess.
and then they were kind of waiting around to see what kind of team's going to sign him. Edmonton signed him. And
Did they
then-
really? After
Yeah.
all of that, and plus, by the way, this is as a Sabres fan, and I used to live in the city in which he lived in. He used to walk out on tabs. He used to fucking
Really?
He had a few incidents with strippers that led to some charges that got dropped eventually.
No shit.
Wow.
Yeah, so,
So
he's
he's
like an
just a scumbag.
all-time scumbag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and there's rumor. I don't know if this is like Buffalo folklore. He ruined Jack Eichel.
Really?
He
How
got him.
so?
He got him on the this and that,
yeah.
and they got a little too had a little too much fun.
I feel like there is so
Vegas
much
will clear
cocaine.
that up.
in
That's what I said. I go have
Vegas
fun in
won't be a
Vegas,
problem.
Jack and Coke. Jack and Coke.
The,
Eichel.
uh,
I am bitter. I'm sorry, Jimmy.
The I was gonna say, but yeah. So this morning at his press conference he signed with Doyle last night, and they asked about him being a team cancer, and he said those rumors didn't come from me, they must have come from the locker room.
The Buffalo.
That's
Sabres.
bad leadership. I thought we were fine. And like if you redo those words, I think Pete Blackburn in particular said it great, where he said, I'm gonna find it because it was such a funny like way to put it. He said, fuck,
He always
let me
has it
find
out with
here.
whoever's like the captain. I feel like on every team he's been on.
He rearranged it a little bit and said, so I'll read you the exact words. And Kane says to say he didn't get along with every. I'm sorry. Kane says to say that he didn't get along with every teammate in SJ is false. Says leaks of that narrative came from the dressing room, not him, and that's not good leadership. And so Pete Blackburn goes, that rumor that I was a terrible roommate, that didn't come from me. Came from my fuckhead teammates. We all got along well.
That's awesome. Yeah, hockey players don't. They're not scared to fucking throw each other under the bus. I feel like. you
Yeah.
know?
How about under the bus, Kanye telling everybody that Pete Davidson has AIDS?
That's just funny.
That's a move.
I mean, that's like
Well,
5 more minutes for Pete Davidson. Everyone knows he doesn't have AIDS.
Yeah.
And Kanye's if Kanye said I had AIDS, I'd be so.
Yeah.
I would have floated in here. I would've been so-
But what's funny?
Because it's so
because-
preposterous.
My wife, he's has AIDS.
It's so preposterous, though.
Because he has Crohn's disease, though, I think that Kanye's a little bit mixed up and like. I don't think it's just a straight up like I'm just being ridiculous.
Well, I think
that
Kanye
Kanye might have been like, doesn't he have that fucking does he have
got-
fucking
he's
AIDS
got
or
an
something like
autoimmune
that?
thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Kanye's
and all of a
good
sudden
at
Kanye
music.
like somebody might have said Pete Davidson has an autoimmune disease and the only one Kanye knows is fucking AIDS.
Yeah.
And next
You're
thing you
giving
know,
him
he
so much
kinda
credit.
thinks it.
You're giving him so much credit.
Just because I just think that because there is a disease that he has and he has the
Again,
eyes
you're
and
giving him
everything.
so much credit. I think he just looked at Pete Davidson and he goes, "Motherfucker, looks like he has
Yeah.
AIDS," and he just said that, and people are like, "Pete Davidson." Kanye says Pete Davidson.
That's what
has
I
AIDS."
think.
I think he just said he
more
looks
about
like.
our perception of Kanye is how like it's like Kanye says he's telling everyone it's AIDS. Like Kanye made a joke, I bet.
Right,
Like, 'cause
he's
that's
making
crazy
fun of
to
him.
go
He's
around.
like,
Yeah.
now Kim's
I mean,
with this
yo,
AIDS ass having
it's
motherfucker.
fucking-
You
It's
know?
straight up illegal. Like you can't. That's
so
one
funny
of the
that
things you
is.
can't say. I know this for a fact with slander.
That
is
is.
STDs is one of them.
Really?
Yeah, you can't say. Like you can't call someone a pedophile.
He missed the operative words. Looks like.
Looks like
Yeah.
a yeah. That would. Then
But
you
maybe
go,
he
but say
didn't, and
does
he got
have-
misconstrued. It. Do you ever?
I would.
wonder about that?
I would. Guess.
I mean, it's coming from DJ Academics, who's like he's a pot stirrer. So
Yeah.
But also, it's one of those. It's like the Tyson zone where you'll believe any of it. It's
Yeah,
like maybe
right.
you might see him on stage tomorrow and be like, that motherfucker has AIDS. And it's just like,
And now he's
okay.
gonna lean into it for sure.
Did you see Ray J?
God,
the
props
latest,
to Ray J being there. I mean, he is
love
like
Ray
Neil
J.
Armstrong, first man to plant that flag.
and he's just a cool cat. He's just always been around.
Was he
but the latest story
Reggie
was,
Bush or post? Because maybe
Pre.
I got the order.
I think
He was pre, yeah,
Yeah.
pre Reggie
By
Bush.
the time
right?
Reggie was there, she was like.
Yeah,
famous.
I knew who Kim Kardashian was when Reggie Bush was dating her.
Right.
I didn't know.
The latest story was that Kanye flew to Ray J, got a laptop that has a second sex tape, and got rid of it for Kim, and Kim was like,
How many millions?
"That's
did he
not like there was nothing on there." But then anyway, Ray J's quote was like, "I've got kids too. Like you guys got to stop this.
Yeah.
Like even like when Ray J's fed up with the bullshit, you guys know.
I just
you're
I just
Ray
fucking-
sell
J's the
headphones
mature
now.
one all
of a
Leave me
sudden?
alone.
Buy Raycon.
That's crazy. I mean, Raycon is a proud sponsor of my podcast,
Absolutely,
and I
yep.
did not know that it was Ray J until just now.
Really?
Raycon, Ray J. Oh man,
Did
that's-
not know that, and
that's
now
it.
I'll wear them. I have them in my fucking pocket. I'm so proud that.
I mean, we were legit like part of the appeal of this is that Ray J likes him. Like I'm down with that.
that's so
He's
funny.
the
Did not
fucking
have
man.
any idea that he was doing that, but man, God bless him. And
Ray J's paying your
for
bills,
him to
bro.
be the mature one,
Right,
In this
that's what
whole
I mean.
thing.
That's what's
and to
wild.
not put out a second. I mean, maybe he's sad that that's what he's known for and not his music.
Yeah, but at what
But isn't
point
he
do you stop
Brandy's
there?
brother too?
Yes.
Yeah.
We forget even that
Yeah,
aspect
yeah.
of
It's,
it.
it's
now,
a
you know?
weird.
Always
it's
the
a weird
bridesmaid.
mix-up.
But also, if you're Brandy's brother your whole life, what better to step out of the shadow than to be known for your sex tape?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's an afterthought. People are like, Brandy's brother didn't even remember that.
Better than fucking killing people like Brandy did.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah, Brandy ran over someone with a car, killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
What
think it was an
celebrity?
accident,
What
but it was-
celebrity hasn't? That's
Yeah,
how
who
you
among
know.
us?
That's how you know if you're really famous. If you hit someone with your car and
If
it
you
just
can
goes
kill
away.
and if you can kill somebody and it just does nothing happens, you famous.
That's a real test of your fame.
Caitlyn Jenner, Matthew
Yeah.
Broderick, Dante Stallworth. Dante
good
Stallworth
list.
might have gone to jail.
Henry Ruggs not quite famous enough.
Henry Ruggs
Killed
no.
a dog also, so that really put
And
him
you're in
behind
trouble.
bars. Yeah, he's
And
never
you
coming
are
back
in
after that.
fucking trouble. It's true.
He killed a
Human, we
dog.
can do this. Dog, you're dead.
That's what literally Twitter was like. They were like, but the dog.
Yeah.
It was like there was a person there too.
Yeah.
Let's pop next door and do some ATI. What do you say?
Fuck yeah.
So we got the Josh Potter show. That's out when?
That's right. The Josh Potter Show comes out every Tuesday. It's on YouTube. It's free of charge. That'll never change. But now I've got a Patreon and doing lots of like on the road content with it. Audio only because it's so much easier to just crank it.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
Oh,
I can
yeah.
do it and then put it out.
Yo.
So it's $5. That's it, and you get like podcasts every week, and like one at least of me and my buddy Matt, like on the road wherever he is and wherever I am.
Hell yeah.
And then we do bonus eps, and I do bonus shit all the time. So it's just popping off. And other than that, just come see me on the road. I'm gonna be doing a run this week, but after that, I'm gonna be announcing some dates. So stay tuned.
Twitching still or what?
I haven't really been because everything else has been coming up.
Yeah.
But
What's
with
up?
this new Patreon, I would like to, like I said, do more things like I did with the Bills game. where I
Sure.
can go like to that city's big event or game or whatever and watch it with the fans and do a whole thing. So,
Fucking love it, man. Everybody check it out, and let's do some ATI. We're at 94,000 subscribers on KFC Radio, the YouTube channel. I need to have it hit 6 figures. I need 100,000 for 2022. Let's make it happen. When we hit 100K, we'll give you all sorts of content. We're going to deliver on everything we've been promising. So please just subscribe. All you got to do is log in with your Gmail, click subscribe. Whether or not you actually even use YouTube doesn't fucking matter. All it does is help us. So take your Gmail, log in, click subscribe, and help us out.